So I just realized the power in just asking or saying, I hope you find your little joys today. Now, I know it also is so naive, and a lot of people get annoyed by
They
that.
do. They do. And that's
yes.
what I totally wanted to ask you about that because
I get made fun of. Yes, all
it's
those
like
things.
people roll their eyes or they go, oh, toxic joy. Welcome to Let's Talk, ladies, conversations across generations. I'm MB Roberts, an author and journalist, and this is a podcast where we talk to women from their 20s to their 90s about a bunch of hot topics. We ask questions, share experiences, and learn from each other. And it's not just about older women giving advice. We want to know what younger women are thinking too. So let's get talking. Today we're talking to singer, songwriter, and podcast host Jessica Breanne. We'll be talking, among other things, about joy. Okay, don't push stop or scroll past or whatever you do. I promise it won't be about toxic joy and just running around with a smile on your face all the time. It's not that kind of chat. There's some nuance to this discussion. So happiness, the Founding Fathers put the right to the pursuit of happiness in the Constitution. So it's been drilled into us since we were little kids. Be happy. The goal is to be happy. You hear parents say, oh, I just want my kids to be happy. Is that true? I don't know. What does that mean? Happiness and joy. It seems we've been talking about these topics for a while. Back in 2018, I felt like everybody I knew was talking about Gretchen Rubin's book, The Happiness Project. My friends anyway. And these days, gosh, I hear about happiness and joy all the time. Hoda Kotb's hosting a Joy 101 workshop. Now, she's somebody that I think exudes joy. So I believe she has credibility in that department. But I'm just wondering, is joy a thing, a practice, or is it a goal? There's nothing wrong with intentionally doing things to boost your spirit, like stopping for an ice cream or naming the moon. That was a recent suggestion from the Good List in the New York Times. Even the New York Times is talking about joy. But I guess the issue is that people really aren't liking is the concept of forced joy or feeling bad if you're not feeling it. How is that? Aren't we supposed to feel all the feelings, like sadness, happiness, everything in between? Can we be happy without sadness? I don't know. You've heard of toxic positivity. Does that bug you? Is it enough for someone to say, be happy, and boom, that's it? It might have the opposite effect. It's like when people, especially men, tell a woman to smile, just smile. Don't get me started on that one. Anyway, I'm happy, there's my little happiness pun, to welcome just the right person to talk about joy today. Jessica Breanne is a 39-year-old singer, songwriter who's working on a new album that you are going to love. She's also the host of a podcast called Little Joys. Let's talk to Jessica. So, welcome, Jessica.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm so glad to have you. I've been so looking forward to this. So, we're talking about joy today, among other things, and I thought you were particularly qualified because of your podcast. So can you tell us a little bit, you're a musician, you do all these things, but can you tell us a little bit about Little Joy's podcast? Just what's that all about?
Yes, it's just a journey to talk about joy. I feel like everyone sort of wants to have some ideas that maybe, go for a walk, try this movie, try this song, just seeing what people's little tricks are, because I don't know about you, but as you go throughout your life and you see as time goes on that when people don't try to go find some of their joys, your spirit gets kind of broken. And so I just wanted to see what it was like to talk to all kinds of different people about their joy practices and how they found it in tough times, just in case anybody that listens needs little ideas.
See, that's so nice because, our podcast is all about comparing experiences of women of different ages. And we kind of get caught at each decade. I think you lose some of it, not everybody, but because of work, because of kids, because of, illness, whatever. And it's like, how do we get back to just, like when I was in college, I would just go out on every Wednesday. I had this group I would go out with, and I would sooner die than miss that. And it was just nothing. It was just silly, laughing, dancing, goofing, just and I don't do enough of that. So you're inspiring people. Like, were you finding you're kind of missing it in your own life, if you don't mind my asking?
I will say that I had a lot of dark things happen to me starting at a younger age. And once all of that sort of just started to wrap up, my father struggled with alcoholism. And my whole family watched him struggle, and we learned that love is not enough. And that you just kind of got to be careful. And then I lost one of my best friends to suicide. And I couldn't even believe that. And then time just goes on, and life sort of kind of breaks you. And I got to a point where I was scared for myself. And so I started to write on my wall, because I have little pieces of paper that says, find your little joys today. And slowly and surely, just to write, go on a walk out put your feet in the soil, put your hands in the soil, like little things like that, to try to get myself back to finding that light that is within, which is all around you if you know how to listen.
Now that's pretty advanced for such a young person. I mean, that it's like that you were able to name that. I think, like, when I was a kid, if I was mad at somebody or mad at my mom or just disappointed about something, I think your impulse is to, well, let me go get some ice cream or let me do something fun. But I don't think I was able to put a name on it. So that's interesting. Did you have somebody that you were talking to, like that inspired that, or music or something? Like, what inspired that kind of high level of thinking?
Probably during the pandemic, I was writing songs, and it was right at the beginning of the pandemic, and John Prine had just died. And it was like when all of us were like, wow, this is really happening. And all the people that I love were sort of spinning out. The world felt like it was ending. And so I write a lot of letters to people I love. And so I started to sort of write it and say, I hope you find your little joys today. And then I wrote that into a song called The Letter. And then I just realized that before I knew it, my friends were even saying, I'm so glad you said what were my little joys today. I haven't thought about that in so long. And the more that I ask people that, the more that I realize that they are asking other people. Instead of like, hey, how's your day? It's like, hey, what were your little joys today? Yeah. And it's fun to watch people ask that question to someone else and them go, oh, wow. Well, you know what? I think it was this or that. So I just realized the power in just asking or saying, I hope you find your little joys today. Now, I know it also is so naive, and a lot of people get annoyed by
They
that.
do. And that's
yes.
what I totally wanted to ask you about that, because
I get made fun of. Yes, all
it's
those
like
things.
People roll their eyes, or they go, oh, toxic joy. Like, well, and I mean, there's a difference between like what you're talking about, gratitude or just finding something proactive, and somebody come up to you, go, oh, well, just get over, be happy. I mean, somebody says that to you when you've had something bad happen. You want to smack them, right? I mean, you understand that.
Yes.
And absolutely. And yeah, so what do you say to people who say, what are you doing? Like, why are you talking about this? That's no good.
People have done that since when I first moved here. People did that a lot
more. And you moved to Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Is that I'd make a choice every day that when I go outside, I tried to spread a little joy, because you never know what anybody is going through, what it took them to get out of the door to go somewhere. I know that not everyone struggles with that, but most people do. So to make a choice of, to be a light. I've gone through some of the darkest stuff, and I don't tell anyone that's around me. And I've had people go, why are you so happy all the time? I'm not happy. My heart is broken. My spirit feels broken, but that doesn't mean I'm going to drag you down with me, And also, if I keep myself in that state, I'm afraid I'll never get out again. So I think it's just mostly about fighting like hell to find a little light in this life before so a lot of times people lose it. So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting too. There's a difference between being happy and finding joy, I think. And I don't know if I'm getting too down and dirty, but
No.
it's like there's days like I don't feel that happy today, but I am finding joy the minute I saw you walk in the studio and saw my friend, or just got out and about. I'm an extrovert, so you add people to me like adding water, and I will jolly up, even if not totally happy, but no one can be happy all the time.
No, and I think happiness is different than joy as well. Um, yeah. So one of the things that I've realized, and I don't know about you, I would love to know, is that people that I notice that seem to spread a light in their conversations and in life and sort of go out of their way to be a light are people that struggle with a lot of stuff. And I've realized that some of the people that say the other things like, why are you happy all the time? They don't understand their privileges as well. I will say I have some friends who are part of a program called Metro Parks Disabilities Program that I've been friends with for about 13 years. And they struggle with a lot of things, and they make a decision to be kind. And I just see that where they struggle all the time. They've got a lot of health problems, and when they go out, they just are in the present moment and don't want to waste a time of being present, and they're being light. And so I hope that's a good example.
It is, and it's a practice, I know, because I can think of people right now. Like I talked to a friend this morning on the phone who is a great example of this. And it's different from being fake or not sharing your emotions. But I have never heard her complain, or and we'll have this chat, cheers me up, and then I'll find out, oh my gosh, do you know what happened to her yesterday? I mean, that's pretty serious. And but she is making a choice to focus on good stuff, and I think that's sort of the difference between just going around and being, like just like loopy happy.
Yes.
Like, well, tell me about some of your guests on your podcast. Like, do you select them because you think they'll be good for this topic, or it just is something everybody wants to talk about?
I pick people that I see have given joy to others and not just myself, that I see them out in the world and they are being kind and uplifting people.
On your podcast, you had Courtney Warner, the comedian, and she was on our
Yes, I have
podcast.
listened
Oh,
to
did
that.
you? Oh, good, because we did two. She was so good. We did 2 episodes with her, and
Yes.
I see her as that kind of person. Just
Yes,
like
yes.
helping a lot of other people. Just never stops. I don't know where she gets
Yes.
her energy.
Same.
Pardon the interruption. We hope you're loving this episode, but we hope you'll just take a moment to follow, subscribe, and comment on the podcast wherever you're listening. And follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. All of this really helps us. Now back to the episode.
I will say I started it, though, to talk with some of my older friends that I wanted to just get sort of a conversation recorded for other people to hear, because they have been through so much and lived so much life and have had a lot of tragedies. But unfortunately, I lost my friend H.G. Webb right before we were going to record, and he was the whole reason why I started it. So it was interesting. I had to sort of shift. And then with some other friends I had with some health things, I had to focus on people that were more around my age right now. So I started with 4 people that are more around my age, but I've just done one with 84-year-old Hortense Spillers, who is a very famous literary figure, and our conversation went like 2 hours, and I did that about a month ago, and I've been really, it's hard to edit that stuff.
Oh, it's so hard.
And I don't want to take anything out. And
No,
it's like,
so maybe you could make it 2. Could you make it a 2-parter?
I think I'm just going to do one whole one because I don't know how to split it. But that's the whole thing, is that I just want to talk to people and know about their life, because I will say that I don't ask anyone that I can tell hasn't gone through something. Even though I don't know about people's lives, you can tell when people are out a little bit that I think they must struggle with something.
Yep, they've got something to say, and they've had
yes,
an
yes.
experience that they've. So is that kind of the common thread with your conversations? Is it's like how people have dealt with something difficult and turned it into
Yes, yes.
a bright spot.
Yes, it's much different having conversations with people around my generation than it is Hortense's too. So that's so interesting. I've always kept much older friends in my life. My mom is an administrator in assisted living, and I worked in one. And I love having friends that are much older than me, so I can listen and learn. So I'm hoping to record some other friends, and maybe even go back home and record some other people.
Yeah, and tell us where is home?
I'm from Northeast Texas, right on the border of Shreveport, Louisiana. So I say East Texas because it's all sort of like nature, and there's a bunch of little small towns, but you're in all of them because it's so I'm very happy where I grew up.
Tell me the name of the town. I think I know this.
Uncertain Texas is where I say from some of the songs that I'm writing from. But
that's kind of amazing.
Yes.
To be able to say that you're from Uncertain Texas.
Well, I'm really from Marshall, Texas,
okay,
which is right beside it.
Uncertain's sounds better.
But Uncertain has the swamp, and I've spent just as much time out there than anywhere. So that feels like my spirit, and that's where I learned how to sing into the big wilderness. So that's why I talk about Uncertain a lot. And then people go, "Oh, you're from there," and I've never said I'm from there, but I just say I'm from Northeast Texas. But that place is very special to me, and it is my home. So when I think of home, I think of there.
Okay, that's incredible. Well, so you're happy, or you find joy when you go home and visit, and sometimes.
Or I don't know. Where are you from?
I'm from Northern Virginia, outside DC, but I've lived in Nashville a long time.
Yeah. Where I'm from, there is it's got a lot of power to it. It feels like you're sort of in another world. When I've taken friends down to do some videos and stuff, they go, "Wow, you've tried to explain it and you still didn't do a good job of explaining it. It's otherworldly." But there's a lot of darkness that lives there, and a lot of people that I've watched love just like lose their spirit. And so when I go home,
like kind of spooky, like in the bayou or the swamps. Like I think of that as can be a spooky thing, or
a lot of darkness and a lot of light. That's life though, of what you choose. But it's so interesting there having the nature as well, because there's a lot of alcoholism and a lot of people that just quit dreaming. And so when I go home, I love being there for the nature aspect of it, but I don't have many friends left, and there's just a lot of, it's weighted. It's hard to say.
Yeah. Does it make you appreciate your life when you come back to Nashville? Or?
Yes, but I love home too. I would like to say it's interesting. It's not an easy place to sort of describe.
Yeah. Well, we have to look at Jessica's videos, and you can kind of get a sense of it. Well, what kind of thing? Okay, like today, like you brought your dog Birdie to the studio. Does that? And I was telling you I went to rescue puppy yoga last weekend. I got to tell you, when I had like 3 of identical puppies climbing all over me. I dare you to be a grump, when that's happening. So is that what your dog makes you happy? What else makes you happy?
She makes me so happy. Very much so. Today I was listening to some songs I recorded not so long ago right underneath us. So I was being hard on myself and proud of myself at the same time. And I will be honest with you, I struggle with manic depression and a panic disorder, which so a lot of time also, that's another reason why I like to be so like this out, because it's really difficult
to make yourself do
navigate. You get on medicine that works for a while, and then your body gets used to it, and I'm so much better at not beating myself up about it. But just a few days ago, I was having a lot of panic attacks and stuff. So no, it just is a part of it, though. That's what sort of helps me. I gather a lot of strength from that, because anytime I get to pull myself out of that, and it feels nice. It's
Yeah.
exhausting, but it feels
It's almost like
nice.
I would think, it's like when I'm working on a project, a writing project or whatever, like some of it is terrible. It's like starting it is, really difficult. And then if you get frustrated or stuck, but finishing it usually feels pretty joyful. Do you feel like that when you like finish a song or not so much? You like need to hear it later. The joyful part comes when it's really finished or it comes out. Like, do you get some joy from the process?
I do from writing, and but I don't like to listen to myself. That actually makes me lose my mind. I just don't like it, because when I write and I sing, that is the joy from it. Because I sort of write and sing from a very spiritual sort of place.
Your music is really incredible. It's
Thank
really
you.
special and unique. And
It's not for everyone. My voice is wild, and a lot of people are like, ah.
oh my gosh, I was trying to figure out how to describe it because it is so. Gosh, there's just I was like, is it part Dolly Parton and Lucinda Williams mixed together, and then there's something else there too. It's like with the power. It's really cool. You've got something very special. Like I know, like.
No, thank you, thank you. Just
I'm
to know
not
that
a record
anyone's
company
listening,
executive,
well,
but
those don't matter anyway,
well, please listen to Jessica's
in the
music.
scheme of things, yes.
Yes, because
And
it's really, really awful. Well, speaking of music, tell us about your new album.
I recorded it right below us.
Right in the building we
Mhm.
are, and tell us the name of it
I don't know the name of it yet.
You
I
don't?
just went in with some of my best friends who are so talented, and we they would come over once a week for about 2 months, and they learn these songs. I went from having about 35 songs I was thinking about, and then I was so proud of myself for narrowing it down to 11. That's very difficult. I write all the time.
You do? Okay.
Yes, and I can't ever differ, what other people might like or not. I go with what feels like maybe the message that needs to get out. Because I will say when I write, I ask to be the best vessel I can be. I don't sit down and write and go, okay, what does someone want to listen to? Or I try to take all of the things that I've learned and stories that I've heard, and a lot of times I write in characters, and a lot of these songs have been that. It started off as a musical idea, actually, of a few women trying to leave their homes from abusive situations. And so I started to write all the songs, but I couldn't write the dialogue. So it's so funny when something comes to you very clear, but you need another part that's not there. And so I thought I wouldn't do anything with this particular songs, but I thought it doesn't matter, just record them. And if you want to put them on the stage one day and do a musical, then you can do that. But I have limited time. I have a full-time job, and that's a full-time job. And I wish that one day I will be able to be a full-time artist, and then I'll be able to get all of the bigger things done. But
Oh,
it's
that
a
would
lot
be
of
a
work.
dream. It is a lot of work. That
Mhm.
is and
But I love it.
I know so you write all the songs yourself, and do you write with other people too, or just it's just you? That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's sacred to
Yeah.
me. 'Cause I want to invite in certain things. And I've tried to write with other people, and I don't do the Nashville thing, which is
Yeah, like
everybody
in Nashville,
writes.
when I first moved here a million years ago, and I'm not a musician, but I was just so I didn't know that one would go to work like from 9 to 5, and if you're a songwriter, sometimes you sit in another room with one or two other people, and you're like, okay, we're writing a song now.
Yes.
And I mean, you can't wait till some people are like, oh, you have to be inspired, and you don't really have that luxury. I mean, you got to work at it like every day. Like I
Yeah.
mentioned, Dolly, Dolly gets up every day, Dolly Parton, and
Mhm.
writes a song every day.
Yeah.
So she says.
Yeah.
She didn't
Or
tell me that.
at least the twigs,
Right.
little twigs of stuff. Yes.
Right. Like something like
Yes,
and
yes,
I
yes.
really believe in that because I've written 18 nonfiction books, and people would say, oh my gosh, I want to write a book. What do I do? And I said, well, it's butt in chair. I mean, a famous author, Nora Roberts, said that, butt in chair, who's written a million. It's really that. It's really, I would even set timers sometimes, like okay, you know, go like it's 10 o'clock. I'd set it for 90 minutes, and you're not allowed to get up and pee, or you're not allowed to look at your phone or
You are so
anything.
cool.
It's
That's so much.
well, it's
I want to read those.
oh, Okay, well,
Yes.
we'll share. We'll share. But
Yes.
it's it is a discipline, right? But
It
it
is a
is,
discipline.
yeah.
And it's lonely.
Yes.
But, I will say I just got asked to play at the Bluebird Cafe, which I never thought that would happen because I'm not a Nashville songwriter.
Okay, so for listeners, most Nashville people know about the Bluebird, but that is the cool songwriters
Used to
place.
be, Chris Christopherson
Oh my
and
gosh.
Townes Van Zandt, Guy Clark, and
People have been discovered there. They say
yes,
Garth
yes.
Brooks was discovered there.
But it's a
And
little different now with how Nashville is and stuff. So I wasn't sure, but
oh, that's thrilling.
I sat there and there were 3 other really lovely young women that were there. But I felt like a fish out of water
You
because
did?
they all had written their songs with like 6 or 7 people, and it was all just different. We write from different places, and so I just felt like I didn't really fit in for a bit. But I just kind of stayed true to myself. I was the only one that wrote by yourself. So
you're gonna. That's only gonna be good as you go on, right?
and I will say that I was proud of myself for not letting that like eat me alive, because it was a little nerve-wracking, because I played a song about loving someone who's going to the other side, and how you don't have the right tools and you wish you did, and you just want them to have the safest journey to whatever is next. And it's about grief, and it's a hard song for me to sing because it comes from a personal place. And I went for it, and there was a woman, 2 young women that had traveled there, who had traveled because one of them had just lost their husband. They were their caregiver to cancer, and they came on this trip to try to help her with her grief. She hadn't been able to have the words, and her looking me in the eyes and saying, "Thank you for giving me words to this." And then she sent me another message, and I was like, see, that was the whole point, is this just being here in front of, that's why I put myself out there. It's hard putting yourself out there, and I wish I could have an avatar so I could sing and no one would sort of look at me. But
that would be good. I would like. What's the name of that song?
It's called I Care.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna listen to it in the car and cry. I'm sure. Well, this is amazing to talk to you. I think you're doing great with your podcast, and your full-time job, and your recording and playing and playing out. But thank you for talking to us today. It's really great to hear a perspective from such a wise perspective from someone so young. So it's you're on the right path.
I don't know if I'm wise, but I will say my mother's maiden name is Wise, and I come from a long line of wise women, is what we say.
Go. That's perfect. That is so perfect. Thank you again,
Yes.
Jessica.
Well, thank you so much.
And that's a wrap for this episode of Let's Talk, Ladies, Conversations Across Generations. We'd love to hear from you. If you like this episode, please subscribe to the show on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube. And you can comment on the episode on any of these platforms. We love the feedback, and it also really helps us with sponsors. So leave those comments. We so appreciate it. And follow us on Instagram and Facebook. You can also send us an email at ltlconversations@gmail.com, or leave us a voicemail at 629-888-3542. See you next time on LTL.